This video is intended to show how to build a new list from scratch in Creator. The video assumes that you have a semi-mature database already in a Legendary server, which means that you already have a certain amount of data in the system. Building a list from scratch without data in the system works exactly the same way, but it is harder to see what you're doing as you're creating changes both in forms and layout. First step for my list, which is the first thing you see after you log in, is to go to Creator. And then from Creator, you would choose which type of list that you're going to create. We're going to create a business list, but you have the ability to create lists of all different types of records depending upon your particular installation. Existing lists are in the Load Business List dropdown, but we are actually going to just build a list from scratch. There are really four components to any new list. There's the search criteria, which tells us what records we want to actually appear in the list. The sort criteria, which tells us how the data should be sorted, and the layout, which tells how the data should be displayed. Additionally, we have the form, which is which fields become available to us both for the purposes of searching and for the purposes of editing data. So the simplest list that you can create in Legendary is a list of a certain record type, in this case business, that has no search criteria, which means we're going to just search for any record that is any business in the database, no other criteria. Sorted randomly, no sorting criteria are set, with the default layout and form for that particular record type. So if I click Build List, I will get a list of every record that's in this local Legendary server. We can then start to filter down from this list, this initial list, to get a set of records that we're more interested in. So for example, we could come in and edit our search node. So this is where we can edit our form. We can edit it either here under the search criteria, or we can edit it by double-clicking on any record in our results set. Either place will work the same. So in this case, what we want to do is we want to actually filter this list by records that have some number of Facebook likes. So I'm going to edit my form. I'm going to click anywhere in the form to get a starting place, which allows us to then insert fields from that point. I'm going to click the Add Field Insert button. I'm going to type in Facebook likes. Insert number of Facebook likes. This record does not have any Facebook likes. If it did have data, it would already appear here. And now I can close out of this. And if I go up to my search node, I can see that number of Facebook likes has been added to the form. If I make a change to the form here, it'll reflect back on the form when I'm editing a record. If I make a change to the editing a record form, it makes the change to my search nodes. The two are joined together. So now I'm going to find every record in my database that has greater than or equal to 500 Facebook likes. So I just put 500 to blank, which means 500 to infinity for a numeric search, so greater than or equal to 500. Hit Build List, and now I have a list of every record in my database that has 500 or more Facebook likes. Next, I can change my sort criteria to sort by Facebook likes in descending order. So I'm going to go down to the Sort tab. I can see that my available fields, by virtue of adding the Facebook likes to my form, now is also available to sort by, and I simply drag this over into my sorting fields and hit Build List to have this list re-sorted by Facebook likes. If I want to have a secondary search criteria, such as the company name, I can just drag that over and that becomes my secondary criteria when this list is sorted. Next, I can come down to my Layout tab, and if I want to actually display number of Facebook likes in my list down here, I just drag that over into its position on the layout fields, and now I can see the Facebook likes appearing in my list. I can also, if I want additional fields or layout components to appear in the list layout, I can grab those from the plugin feature, which is sort of standard layout components that are available for every list that you're creating, but aren't actual fields that have data that you can edit through a form. So for example, I can drag over a rank number, which will be auto-calculated based on the sort criteria that I've set. And I could drag over logo. So for records that have logos available to them, that becomes available on the page as well. I can drag and drop columns to make them look prettier for this particular list. And then if I want to start digging into more advanced features, for example, if I wanted to format the number of Facebook likes on the page, under the Layout tab, under my Layout fields, I can click on Number of Facebook Likes. There's various features here for doing different types of formatting of the data on the Layout page. I can go over to the number fields, number formatting, and I can add commas, for example. Commas will be instantly added. If I wanted to add some sort of notation to it, I could do that as well. And then if I wanted to have some number of decimal places, I could put those in. And you can see how the formatting changes in real time. And that is a very simple way to get started on a new list. If I want to make this list permanent so I can return to it at any time, I just click the Create New List from what's on the page, and I give it a name, Top Facebook Companies. Click Save. And now this list is available to me in Creator anytime I want to come back to it. If I want to make this list available in my lists, I simply go up to Update Loaded List, and then I would either make the list public or I would assign a role to it that is one of the roles that I have, and then it will become available in the My Lists area. We have a separate video for that specific feature coming up a little bit later in the tutorial.